Sup dudes, Wes is back once again for another educational video that is for STR Physical Education series, etc. etc. Okay, enough those creepy memes. I'm going to discuss what is this for, what is this thing for, and I'm going to discuss types or different types of knots, because today I'm going to discuss about knots. What are knots? This is the twisting and turning your rope into different bends, shapes, and even different molds and such. There will be lumps that will be existing into your rope or to your string or even laces. And there are some purpose why these knots should be known and should be used in such specific situations. First type of knot that I'm going to do, which is the stopper knot. The stopper knot is relatively simple. You just need to make yourself a circular loop, just like this. Yeah, this will act as a stopper. What do you mean by stopper? There are two uses of the stopper knot. Number one, for example, there's a hole right here, like it's small enough for this to be kept and cannot go any further from this direction. And the second use of the stopper is that it is really useful if you are going for something compact, connecting a long piece into one another, entirely compact and less space threatening. So that's actually for stoppers, and they were actually common for like lifting objects and stuff. Second one is the hitch knot. This is the example of hitch knot. As you guys can see, instead of we're actually making an entire lump, we're actually tying the rope into an object, so that when I actually pull it, well, it's literally obvious that it's resistant, almost resistant to tension. So the use of these things so that you can literally have objects right here being carried down over here, like hanging objects. The example of this you can actually see on seesaws. The next type will be bend. The bend notch. Bend knot notch. Where that thing came from. Anyways, the bend knot is useful in order to connect two different types of ropes at the same time. For instance, like this. Like interconnecting them to one another, and you will get a bend. This is actually useful if you're actually, like, for example, connecting a disconnected rope. For instance, a rope that is literally split into two and you cannot even recollect the original rope. And last but not least, this is actually useful in terms of like you have different types of ropes or even threads. Like this one, I got a thick garter, a thin piece of garter, and of course a shoelace. I can literally connect them to each other like normally do. Yeah, this is actually what we call as the bend loop. Knot. The next type of knot, which is what we call as the fisherman's knot, or commonly known as loop knots by normies. The loop knot, which is highly useful for under tension, at the same time high amounts of tension, is because that thing is almost used by every single fisherman and those who actually pull heavy objects. So another purpose of the loop, which is also much more durable than the what we called as the band knot. So actually the looping knot is, like, for me it's twice as durable as the band knot is, because it's independent to itself. At the same time, it has many knots and many lumps to occur with. And last but not least, the most durable type of knot, the latching knot. A latching knot, which is tying your rope in all orientations or directions of a piece. So basically, this ensures all different types of tension, weight, and at the same time the most guaranteed type of knot for industries. And this is mainly used for industrial uses and as well as lumber. Collecting lumber is such a work, and of course the lumberjacks suddenly tie the what we call this, the lumbers, collected timbers into this thing. So that's the use of the latching knot. So that's all for today. Hopefully you learn a lot about knots, and indeed they're really useful in terms of safety, convenience, efficiency, and for industrial use. At the same time, in camping, it's also clever to use this type of knots for your tent to be highly secured. That's all for the day. See you guys. Peace out.